When trying to increase your online presence as a business or a creator, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel every time you post. That's how you burn out. Trust me. I know. I've had bouts where I was so motivated to stay consistent with uploading. I would post on several platforms nearly every day. I stuck with it for a short while, but eventually fizzled out. One reason is because posting every day just wasn't sustainable for me. If you can relate, then be sure to watch this video. I'm not sure where it is, somewhere up here. But another reason I couldn't keep up with it was because I would try to make a completely new piece of content each time. In other words, I was doing way too much. Many of us have good intentions when it comes to showing up online, but good intentions can only take you so far. What I've learned after over 4 years in the game is that a good strategy beats good intentions any day of the week. Now, one of my favorite strategies or tools that I will be taking into the new year is the content ecosystem. A content ecosystem is basically the engine behind your content. It's the framework you use to create, share, and track content in a way that supports your goals. Think automation. Instead of reinventing the wheel every time, choose a wheel that's at the intersection of your audience's needs, the type of content you make, and your capacity, and let the wheel keep spinning on its own, saving you brain power and energy. A content ecosystem eliminates decision fatigue. Most creators and businesses don't burn out because making content is hard, but because thinking about what to post every single time is exhausting. A content ecosystem solves this by giving you predefined themes or pillars, letting you pull from a central pool of ideas, and turning content into a repeatable process instead of a constant brainstorm. An ecosystem acts like a brain outside of your brain, so you're not starting from zero every day. Sounds great, right? Let's dive into some practical ways this can show up. Content pillars. In the post-niche era that I believe we are currently in, content pillars are giving people freedom to express a variety of interests. Content pillars are subtopics that you want to talk about or be known for. For example, mine are media, branding, strategy, and culture. If you fall into the lifestyle category, yours may be beauty, fitness, and food. Or perhaps if you make more educational content, your pillars may be step-by-step tutorials, best practices, and case studies. Having clearly defined content pillars makes it easier to brainstorm content because it keeps you centered while giving you enough wiggle room to get creative. This next strategy is what will help you to pull from a pool of ideas. Drum roll, please. Repurposing. The concept of repurposing content is the best thing ever. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it is really helpful. Doing so allows your ideal audience to have multiple touch points with you and your message. I'll give you an example. The scripts for my YouTube videos double as the articles that I post on Medium, and I condense them into a shorter form for LinkedIn. So basically, I'm using one single idea, changing up the format a little bit, and planting those seeds in different places. Now, another way to repurpose content is by expanding on one idea. Remember this. One idea is never just one idea. It's connected to so many other ones. Let's consider how kids think. If you tell them how to do something, they'll likely get it, but they'll also probably have tons of other questions related to the one you just answered for them. In context, if you make a video answering the question, what is an interpreter? Then from that one idea, some follow-ups could be the top 3 types of businesses that need interpreters, or how to choose the right interpreter for your business. You're essentially building off of the same idea and anticipating any further questions your ideal audience may have. And don't be afraid to directly ask them what kind of content they would like to see either. This kind of interactive feedback is the kind of thing that humanizes your brand. At the end of this process, you should have a web of content or an ecosystem that you can refer back to. Repeating the process. Now, assuming you've already gotten clear on your audience and the purpose behind your content, and if you haven't, again, go watch this video, it's time to make a repeatable process. Something you can follow over and over again without having to think too hard. Here's a simple version of what this might look like. Step 1. Start with your main message. Every piece of content begins with one idea. This can be a LinkedIn post you want to expand on, a question your audience asked, a trend you're contextualizing, or something you keep thinking about. This becomes the root of the content tree. Ask yourself, what is one thing that I want them to walk away with? When you're clear on that, everything else becomes easier. Step 2. Assign it to a pillar. Next, identify what content pillars the idea falls under. For example, a video about content ecosystems could fall under strategy. A video about why brands shape identity can be under culture, but it can also be under branding. Or a video about how to fix your messaging can fall under branding. Step 3. Decide where this content will live. Not every piece belongs everywhere. So ask yourself, where should this content live and in what format for it to be the most effective. This could be long form video, short form clips, carousels, text posts on platforms like LinkedIn, Threads, or X, long form articles, or even newsletter emails. Step 4. Create the content. This is the execution stage and is pretty self-explanatory. Depending on what format you've chosen for the piece of content, it's time to bring it to life. And because you've already built the system, you're not guessing anymore. You're not staring at a blank screen saying, "What should I post today?" You know exactly what to do. Step 5. Package it so that people can actually find it and click. No one wants world-class fettuccine alfredo handed to them in a garbage bag. Your content may be great on the inside, but if it's poorly packaged, no one will know. No one will get to appreciate the value that you're offering because they, 1, can't find it, or 2, it's not appealing enough to make them want to click. This is where you finalize the title, the caption, the call to action, thumbnail text, and hooks. Now, depending on the format of the content you're making, you can leave out some of these, you can use all of them. It really depends on what format you're using and what platforms you're on. Great packaging increases discoverability and retention without changing the content itself. Step 6, repeat. Now that you've done it once, do it again. Same workflow, new idea, fewer decisions, less stress, more consistency. This is how creators and businesses can show up online without burning out. Not by doing more, but by doing the same system more efficiently. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, then be sure to give it a like and comment down below what stood out to you. And be sure to subscribe for more videos about media, branding, strategy, and culture. Now go make that content ecosystem.